So I'll be reading from my novel Death or Quarter.
Okay.
At its most basic, it's the story of a bare-knuckle fighter and a Chinese hooker from LA. And he's in prison. There's a funny thing about time in prison, in that it doesn't exist. Or it does, but it's something more like one of those Dali paintings where the clock numbers run amok in technicolor confusion, and the hands can't quite seem to make up their minds which way to point. You lose track of where to look, of how to judge whether what you're seeing is reality, whether it's now or tomorrow, whether you're waiting for last week or next Tuesday. You glance away and look back up and it's 3 years later, then look again and it's yesterday. Every way you turn there's something telling you what time it is, but there's no way to tell which is right, or if there even is a right. It's like that old classic about the guy who stands up on stage and says, "I'm lying to you right now." Can't be. Whatever the case, time is a funny thing in prison. It dances around with no regard to logical linearity or consistency. It hurries up and takes forever. Remember grade school when the teacher plays with cardboard clocks, trying to show how it goes from one number to the next? And how the hands would sometimes get hung up on each other, frustrating the teacher and making everyone giggle and fidget? Prison's like that. It's like someone did that and then shredded the clock and scattered the pieces. "Dear Polly," she writes, "most of the time you have no idea what day it is, and time is measured by lights on count, breakfast count, work count, lunch count, activities count, dinner count, lights out. Hours drag ass, weeks flit by, and years tumble like rocks down a mountain. I'm supposed to come see you next Thursday," she writes, "but you and I know it's best if it don't. You can't hardly feel it, but the world outside is chugging past, out with the old, in with the new. You pick up bits of it, digital security cameras, CD players, email, but everyone you know who got out on parole or finished a sentence and then wound up back in on some easy charge mentions nothing at all about the change, which means all that newness is the scariest goddamn thing there is. At least in here there's a routine. Every time we talk, on the phone, through glass, in letters, in my dreams, we always have problems I don't think we can ever get over, even when you get out. We're always fighting, even if we're smiling and acting friendly. Prison is the worst kind of hell. The kind where you're running up a staircase and everything's aching. Thighs, lungs, hands, eyes, throat, all burning. But there's something up there, something you've got to get to. Except every landing always leads to the foot of another flight of stairs. "We can't keep doing this," she writes. "I've talked to Dante about it. He's okay. He understands. He'll still come see you some. And when you get out, who knows? He's going to college. He's on full scholarship at Berkeley. He's like you, only smarter." There was a book on the library cart once about the Dalai Lama and monks who could meditate so deeply they pull themselves out of their senses of this world, slowing their heart rates to near-death levels and existing only within their heads. They remove themselves from the pain and competition of the world, self-contained beings who don't need food or water for impossible stretches of time. If only you could do that in prison. It's been too long. I've met someone, and he's supporting me going to school. I already finished half of my Gen Ed requirements. It was easy, you were right. I really hope you'll be all right. I'm sorry I did this in a letter. I just thought it would be better for both of us. There are lots of things to look forward to in prison. Commissary day, recess, ice cream, movie night, lice checks, phone calls, visits. Looking forward to something can help pass the time and keep you going. But it can also make time crawl slower. And it can make it confusing. Like when you dream one night you're buying toothpaste from the commissary, which means it must be Monday, and you wake up and think it's Tuesday. Just 2 more days till the visit. And then no one bothers to correct you till you're next in line, and it turns out you're not on the visitor list. And someone tells you it's just Wednesday, and you have to wait 1 more day. At least there's mail call. Goodbye, Polly. Thank you.